Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new fitness or health routine. Imagine waking up tomorrow, stepping out of bed, and suddenly realizing your legs can no longer support your own weight. It does not happen overnight, it happens every single morning, in the quietest, most brutal way possible. If you are over 60 and your morning routine consists of waking up, sitting peacefully with a cup of coffee, or taking a slow, casual stroll, you need to look closer at what is happening under your skin. You are not resting. You are unwittingly allowing your body to dissolve its own vital muscle mass for fuel. Every silent minute you spend inactive during that first hour of the day is a green light for a process that strips away your strength, your balance, and ultimately, your freedom. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. If you want to protect your body and reclaim the strength you deserve, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the motivation to continue creating deeply researched, life-changing content for your journey. Let us look at the mirror honestly. The world tells us that after 60, we have earned the right to slow down, to sit back, and to let our bodies rest. Well-meaning articles and gentle advice comfort us into stagnation. But this comfort is a trap. The human body does not understand the concept of retirement, it only understands use or abandonment. When you leave your muscles dormant in those critical first moments after waking, a silent decay accelerates. It is a terrifying realization that the very habits we consider peaceful are actually accelerating our fragility. We watch our peers lose their balance, depend on canes, or struggle to stand up from a deep chair, and we convince ourselves it is just an inevitable part of getting older. It is not. It is the direct consequence of a morning routine that treats the body as if it is made of porcelain instead of living, adaptive tissue. Today, we are breaking that cycle. We are uncovering the profound truth about morning activation not through brutal, exhausting workouts that break your joints, but through precise, strategic movements that tell your nervous system that your muscles are still vital, still needed, and still worth saving. We will count down 5 specific techniques designed to halt this decay in its tracks, culminating in the single most powerful morning habit you can adopt. Stay with me until the very end, because we will weave these threads into a seamless 5-minute ritual that will transform how your body feels tomorrow. Before we uncover the biological mechanics of this silent decay, I want you to pause and reflect on your own journey. Please answer this simple question in the comments below to help us understand where you stand. When you wake up in the morning, do you feel a deep sense of stiffness and a noticeable loss of physical confidence compared to years past, or b, relatively energetic, but deeply worried about losing your physical independence as time moves forward? Type A or B in the comments below. Your perspective shapes our community. To understand how to stop this internal theft, we must look beneath the surface at the profound biological reality of the aging body. After the age of 60, our biology undergoes a dramatic shift known as sarcopenia, the involuntary, age-related loss of muscle mass and function. It is a slow, relentless erosion. Statistically, an inactive adult can lose an alarming percentage of their muscle tissue every decade, but after 60, this process accelerates into a landslide if left unchecked. Your muscles are not merely levers to move your bones, they are your body's largest metabolic organ, your armor against falls, and the literal reservoir of your physical youth. When you lose muscle, you do not just lose shape, you lose vital metabolic health, cognitive resilience, and your very autonomy. It is the difference between playing with your grandchildren on the floor or watching them from a distant armchair. The crisis reaches its absolute peak the moment you open your eyes in the morning. While you sleep, your body enters a prolonged state of fasting. For 7 or 8 hours, no nutrients enter your system. To keep your vital organs functioning, your body must look inward. When you wake up, your levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone, spike to their highest concentration of the entire day. Cortisol is inherently catabolic, meaning its biological mandate is to break down complex structures to release immediate energy. In a young body, this spike is easily managed. But after 60, if you do not actively signal your body that your muscles are essential, that morning surge of cortisol treats your muscle tissue as an open buffet, systematically dismantling the very proteins that keep you strong. Compounding this hormonal assault is the physical stagnation of the night. Hours of complete immobility restrict the blood flow to your extremities, starving your muscle tissues of fresh oxygen and essential amino acids. Your joints become dry and brittle as the production of lubricating fluid slows down. If your immediate response to this cold, stiff state is to remain completely motionless on the couch, you prolong this destructive catabolic window, allowing cortisol to ravage your muscle fibers for hours. Conversely, if you violently throw yourself into heavy, aggressive exercises out of fear, your cold, unprimed muscle fibers will tear, leading to chronic inflammation and long-term damage. The solution requires a profound shift in perspective. We must learn how to transition the body from a catabolic state of self-destruction into an anabolic state of growth and preservation. We need to flood the tissues with blood, lower the threat level of cortisol, and wake up the dormant neurological pathways connecting your brain to your muscles. This is not about building an elite bodybuilder physique, it is an act of daily defiance against cellular decay, ensuring that your muscles are protected, nourished, and ready to carry you through life with unwavering strength and dignity. To reverse this morning decay, we must deploy a precise, countdown sequence of 5 strategic interventions, moving from the simplest spark to the ultimate catalyst for muscle preservation. We begin at number 5 with bed isometrics, a method that wakes up dormant neuromuscular pathways before your feet even touch the floor. While still lying down, consciously contract your gluteal muscles, holding the tension for 5 seconds before gently releasing. Next, press the back of your knees firmly into the mattress, engaging your quadriceps for another 5 seconds. This is not about straining, it is a neurological roll call, signaling your brain to direct immediate blood flow and amino acids to these long dormant fibers, effectively halting the morning catabolic drain. Moving to number 4, we transition to gentle seated mobility. Sitting on the edge of your bed, slowly lift one knee toward the ceiling, hold for a brief moment, and lower it back down, alternating sides before performing smooth, slow shoulder rolls. This step acts as a physical irrigation system, forcing lubricating synovial fluid into dry, stiff joints and preparing the skeletal frame to bear weight safely. Number 3 elevates the activation through the modified bed bridge. Lying flat with your knees bent and feet resting firmly on the mattress, drive through your heels to elevate your hips into a straight line, squeezing your glutes at the peak of the movement. This targets your posterior chain, the essential anchoring muscles of your back, glutes, and hamstrings that prevent devastating falls and maintain your upright posture as you age. If a full lift causes discomfort, a subtle contraction that barely detaches your lower back from the bed is more than enough to spark a response. Number 2 shifts the battleground from the physical tissues to the nervous system with the anabolic calming breath. By sitting quietly and breathing deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, holding for 2, and exhaling smoothly through your mouth for 6, you intentionally stimulate the vagus nerve. This deliberate, extended exhalation forces a rapid decline in the muscle-wasting cortisol that floods your body upon waking, transforming your internal chemical environment from one of destruction to one of deep healing and recovery. Finally, we reach number 1, the absolute pinnacle of morning muscle preservation, the gentle walking activation. As you step out of bed, spend 2 to 3 minutes walking slowly around your room, but with a profound twist. With every single step, consciously squeeze your quadriceps and glutes as your foot meets the floor. This simple act transforms a casual stroll into a powerful hydraulic pump, driving nutrient-dense blood through your entire body, anchoring your spine, and releasing natural endorphins that shield you from pain and frailty all day long. To weave these 5 life-saving techniques into an unbreakable shield against physical decline, we must organize them into a seamless, 5-minute morning ritual executed before you even consider stepping into the kitchen or checking your phone. This is your daily contract with your own future independence. The first minute belongs entirely to your bed, where you perform the isometric contractions to gently wake your sleeping muscles and announce that the night's fasting state is officially over. During the second minute, you sit at the edge of your bed, slowly lifting your knees and rolling your shoulders to wash away the night's stiffness with fresh circulation and joint fluid. As you enter the third minute, you lie back down or utilize the firm surface of the floor to perform the modified bridges, cementing the strength of your lower back and glutes. The fourth minute demands complete stillness as you engage in 10 rounds of the 4-2-6 breathing rhythm, actively suffocating the catabolic cortisol surge and locking your body into an anabolic, protective state. Finally, the fifth minute puts everything into motion as you stand tall and engage in 2 minutes of slow, deliberate walking activation, consciously anchoring every step with muscular intent. By dedicating just 300 seconds to this sequence every single morning, you establish a compounding momentum that most seniors notice within just a few weeks: a profound return of physical confidence, a reduction in morning frailty, and a body that feels capable rather than fragile. However, this ritual cannot succeed if you continue to sabotage your progress with destructive morning habits that undo all your hard work. You must immediately stop the toxic practice of engaging in sudden, heavy physical labor or intense workouts on an empty, unprimed stomach, which forces your body to tear down its own muscle tissue for emergency fuel. You must stop the habit of waking up only to immediately collapse onto a soft living room chair for hours of motionless reading or television, which prolongs the suffocating catabolic window and locks your joints into a state of permanent stiffness. Finally, you must stop trying to force your body through sharp, sudden pain under the outdated delusion that discomfort equals progress. Pain after 60 is not a sign of weakness leaving the body, but a desperate warning that you are destroying the very tissues you need to survive. While this daily morning sequence possesses the profound power to rewrite your physical destiny, we must also anchor our journey in absolute medical reality. There is a distinct boundary where proactive self-care must yield to professional clinical evaluation. Sarcopenia, by its very nature, is a slow and gradual erosion of tissue. However, if you notice that your muscle mass is vanishing at an alarming, visible rate, or if this physical decline is accompanied by unexplained, rapid weight loss, you are facing a critical red flag that cannot be ignored. Furthermore, if you experience sudden, profound weakness in one leg that causes your foot to drag, if you find yourself repeatedly tripping over flat surfaces, or if your balance becomes so severely compromised that standing upright feels treacherous, you must seek immediate medical attention. These are not merely the standard inconveniences of advancing years, they are urgent indicators of potential underlying neurological conditions, severe spinal nerve compression, or metabolic disorders that require comprehensive medical diagnosis and specialized intervention. This morning routine is crafted for the typical, age-related stiffness and gradual muscle loss that responds beautifully to consistent, nurturing care. It is not a substitute for emergency medicine. Ultimately, the muscle tissue you possess after the age of 60 is a sacred asset, a literal savings account that funds your personal sovereignty. It requires a deep, daily devotion. It asks you to stop viewing your body as a failing machine and start treating it as a living, breathing ecosystem that adapts precisely to the demands you place upon it. You hold the power to choose whether your future will be defined by vibrant, unassisted independence or by the agonizing constraints of physical dependence. By committing to these 5 minutes of mindful activation every single day, you are choosing strength, you are choosing resilience, and you are choosing to honor the magnificent vessel that has carried you through 6 decades of life. Looking back at everything we have explored today, a profound and life-altering lesson emerges: your body is not your enemy, and the aging process is not a betrayal. The frailty, stiffness, and weakness so many experience after 60 are not inevitable punishments of time, but rather the logical consequences of a system that has been left unprimed and unprotected against its own natural biological shifts. When you understand that your body enters a vulnerable, self-destructive state every single morning, your entire relationship with movement changes. You realize that you cannot bully your muscles into compliance with aggressive exercises, nor can you neglect them through motionless stagnation without paying a heavy price. The profound lesson here is that longevity requires gentle stewardship, not brute force. Your muscles are listening to every signal you send them, and silence is interpreted as abandonment. To apply this revelation to your life starting tomorrow, you must shift your perspective from one of reaction to one of conscious intention. The moment your eyes open, recognize that first hour as a sacred window of preservation. Do not rush to meet the demands of the world, and do not let your mind sink into passive comfort. Instead, gift yourself those 300 seconds. Treat those 5 minutes not as a tedious chore or a medical prescription, but as a profound declaration of your own worth. By systematically calming your nervous system, flooding your dormant tissues with nutrient-rich blood, and signaling your brain that your strength is still required, you actively rewrite your biological narrative. You change the internal environment of your body from a state of breakdown to a state of buildup. This daily practice compounds over time, transforming from a simple morning habit into a lifelong shield that protects your mobility, preserves your dignity, and ensures that your golden years are lived on your own terms, filled with strength, vitality, and unyielding freedom. To help everyone in our community learn from each other's experiences, please take a moment to answer this simple question in the comments below. Which of the 5 morning techniques we discussed today do you feel is the easiest for you to try out tomorrow morning? Please share your thoughts below so we can all benefit from your perspective. If you found this guide helpful and want to protect your physical freedom, please subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your subscription helps support our mission and gives us the motivation to keep creating high-quality, scientifically backed content to serve you better.